The Hangout is
It
live.
says live.
It is live. You see, it's not that different than what we were talking about some seconds ago. So welcome, Steph. In number 34, the SQL Hangouts are somehow back. After 2 months of almost nothing, now the SQL Hangouts are back. Steph, welcome. Please let us know who you are.
I'm Steph Locke. I'm based in the UK. I do BI stuff, including what somebody called the other day data ops. So
What is data ops?
data ops is like DevOps, but for BI people. So
Okay.
basically doing DevOps, but with the aim of doing continuous integration and infrastructure for your data warehouse and your reporting and everything.
Cool
So
stuff.
I like to play with Azure a lot.
So what's your opinion on Azure? By the way, my t-shirt is on Azure at the moment. So what's your opinion on Azure as of now?
I really like it.
Really?
I
Okay.
started off using Amazon's EC2 service.
Okay.
And trying even something as simple as hosting a WordPress blog on that was tough because you had static domain IPs and all sorts of things. Much easier on Azure, much more accessible because my highest IT qualification I got when I was 16.
Okay.
I think I've never got round to certification.
Okay, so it is that simple in your opinion?
Yes, it's that simple. I can do it. And I need a roadie to plug in VGA cables and stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
I can do infrastructure on the cloud. It must be easy.
Yeah. Okay, so, and how are you involved in that SQL Rally event? I know that you are somehow involved in this.
SQL Relay is.
By the way, just give us a short overview of what is SQL Relay, because I believe there will be people who haven't heard about this enormous event. What's SQL Relay?
SQL Relay is quite an insane concept. It started out trying to grow attendance to user groups back in 2011. We're going to be on our 6th event this year, and we're going to do 8 different cities in 8 days.
Not 8 different tracks, 8 different cities.
8 different cities. Each event will probably have 3 or more tracks. And it's all free to attend. Usually all city centre locations, 9 to 5, mix of topics and levels. We put on food, and we've started actually taking speakers around on the fun bus. So we bring big name and community speakers. We had a few MVPs and everything, people like Scott Klein and stuff. And we basically brought them around the country. We bring the conference to you.
The main thing that you are, somehow you are missing the important part is that you have 8 cities or more in what period?
2 weeks. We do Monday to Thursday 4 cities, and then the next Monday to Thursday another 4 cities.
Yeah, so if you want to get so much information about and around SQL Server, then if you want, in general, if you want your head to explode from SQL Server knowledge, then SQL Relay is obviously one of the things that you should think about.
Definitely, because I'm working it out. I think there would be at least 160 hours of content.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I help organise that. I run the Cardiff events, and I deal with sponsorship.
And that's not easy. That's not an easy job, for sure. Okay, Steph.
So we have such a fun conference. Everybody wants to be involved.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. So we decided, and I believe it's more or less you decided to talk about something that's quite. When I heard the suggestion, it was like, that's interesting. So the main topic here is, let's share some stuff around what you called open sourcing database projects.
So
What's that? And how it's related to SQL Server?
yeah, well, when I started at my current organization, we were brand new, so we use a lot of open source technology, and we also use Azure for our databases, because I think the cheapest Azure database is £9 a month.
Okay, the lowest level, you mean?
Yeah,
The standard one.
Oh,
actually, it's the basic one, right?
Yeah.
There is a basic one, yeah?
Yeah. So it is a fantastically useful tool for our organization.
Okay.
And knowing that we would have to rapidly evolve, we're using a technique called anchor modeling for our data warehouse.
Sounds interesting. Wait for a sec because the video is trying to how can I say it, to catch up. Let's see when it's going to be ready. Yeah, I believe it's now. So yeah, please. Yeah.
So our completely additive data warehouse is entirely metadata driven as well. Because I wanted to be able to say, oh, we have this new need for this bit of data.
Yep.
Let's get it in as quickly as possible. And of course, it's a startup, so there was only one of me. So I couldn't have a labor-intensive process of building SSIS packages and stuff.
Okay.
So I got James Skipwith, the SQL pimp, in, and in 45 days, we built MeDry Anchor, the metadata-driven anchor model system. And because that doesn't, whilst it's great and it makes it really easy for us to get information out and into the business, it doesn't give, it's not sensitive. You know, it doesn't, it's what you do with the information after you receive it that adds value to the company. So we were able to secure permission for actually adding the solution, the database solution, to GitHub. So you can go on Steph.lock / Anchor and actually download it.
Yeah, okay. So you can find
use it, and
so you can, in general, you can find everything that you built on GitHub. Simply said. Okay, interesting stuff. And you're probably updating it, or you have, that's the final version of it.
We're currently trying to get the time to do some updates. And I'm trying to secure some, and the great thing is, because it's open source, I can get other people who are interested in honing their continuous integration for databases skills and stuff to or their PowerShell skills to basically help with the project. So there's a whole number of some SQL generation. There's PowerShell. There's a whole bunch of different areas which can be improved.
So to the all folks that are trying to improve the solution, you now know where to look at for improvements: the PowerShell stuff and the SQL generation. Obviously. What else?
I currently have a version of a repository in Visual Studio Online.
Okay.
So we're also looking at how we can do continuous integration, so the DevOps side of things, or the data ops, because it's my data warehouse, and how we can actually, every time somebody makes a change,
Yep.
it goes away and builds a copy, does the post deploy SQL scripts in the SSDT database project, and actually fills it and runs some unit tests. So from that perspective, we'll be able to do full end-to-end testing as well in Visual Studio Online.
Okay, so let me just try to figure out if I'm getting you correctly. So you have built a solution that, in general, what it's doing is helping you out build a data warehouse by, simply said, by actually automating and creating everything needed from the OOTP system or from the OOTP databases to the data warehouse. And after it creates all of the stuff, it actually also runs tests and stuff like this. Is that the case?
Yeah, and it does the ETL.
So it's also doing the movement based on the SSIS, or?
No, just pure SQL.
Oh, okay, just with SQL statements. Okay.
Yeah, we wanted something that was version agnostic.
Yeah.
For SQL Server. So as soon as we can get linked servers on Azure, in some way, then I'll be able to do a fully distributed ETL. At the moment, we have a SQL Server Express edition running our data warehouse loads. And it's just you insert some records into a table, and then the next batch goes, oh, I need to add these objects to the data warehouse, goes away, adds them, builds the stored procedures, and adds it into the execution order.
Okay, that's quite fancy, by the way. That's quite
in
fancy.
45 days.
In 45
MCMs
days.
MCMs are definitely.
Yeah, obviously, when you have someone on the MCM level, that's a different story. Okay, so you can. So is there someone who's already contributed to the project, or is it just the two of you still?
We're lining some people up to help us.
Yeah.
With the project. But at the moment, my time has been very constrained with things like SQL Saturday Portugal, and I did my R pre-con the month before.
Okay.
So it's been very busy.
Yeah.
Which is one of the disadvantages of an open source solution.
Yep.
In that, if it's openly available, you're reliant on the contributor's time. But it's also one of the advantages that you can have massively more contributors than you could ever afford to pay for in your organization.
That's true. That's true. That's absolutely
true. And if you have
please, I was about to say something, but I'll ask you later on, please.
I was just going to say, if you have a bunch of wonderfully competent people, you're able to hit them up and go, have some fun. Let's do this cool thing and make it happen.
Yeah, the question that I was about to ask is, how did you decide to actually put that as a open source project in general, in first place? That's not something that's frequently seen in the SQL Server world, because SQL Server is the most open source product on the planet. How did you decide to do that?
Well, I use R as well.
Okay.
So
The
R,
statistical language.
stats language.
The stats language. Okay.
Yeah, and that's open source.
Yep.
We also, in my previous company, we used MySQL, and this now we're using MariaDB.
Okay.
And open source products, even Kerberos is open source.
Okay.
Okay. With the MIT license, and it's amazing how much of even the tool set that you use for Microsoft products is open source or is becoming open source.
Yeah, more or less. I believe it's becoming open source in some way. Yeah, I believe we are going to see quite some stuff, even from Microsoft going open source.
Yeah. And the amount that the technology enables us to be a better business and to move more rapidly.
Yep.
Made us want to give back.
Okay.
You know, we use these products for free or for very cheap, and it's great to have something there that says we've helped make this a better product.
Yeah, so you helped us, now we are going to help someone else.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
So as well as our database solution, we also have an R package called OptiRum. Our company's called
GitHub? Is it also on GitHub or?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Also on GitHub and also available for download from the central repository. So it meets all the minimum coding standards and everything.
Yeah.
That is required of an R package to be
published.
Published.
Okay. Missing English words. Missing English words, obviously. Okay.
No, I was just trying to struggle because you can, as soon as it's on GitHub, anybody can use it.
Yep.
But the OptiRum and I think there's about 6,000 other packages that are signed off as meeting these minimum quality standards on CRAN, the central repository. So it's there's some good company and some mediocre company and then some downright crazy company. But it's
in general, what's your approach to this open sourcing database project? Are you someone who will like recommend doing that? What's your belief in this? Is every project, everything that you write, for example, probably your opinion is, should that go to GitHub or some other website and be shareable and usable by anyone? Or do you think that there is some lane where this should stop and something should be free, something not?
It's I think if it contributes to the company's intellectual property.
Yeah.
So if it's what makes the company unique in comparison to their competitors, don't share it. Keep it as close to your chest as possible.
Okay. Good advice. Okay.
But if it's tech, well, tech's ubiquitous, you know. We have technology everywhere. It's how you use it that matters. So me with SQL Server to somebody else with SQL Server, the competitive advantage isn't in the product, but how we translate the capability into our company's
advantage
strategy. So it's giving away my data warehouse solution doesn't mean my competitor can go away, implement it, and get all the same level of insight. as we do out of it, because their data has to be there, their data quality, they've got to have the governance around it, they've got to have the willingness to use open source products.
Yeah. Also, and trust it, by the way.
Trust it.
Yeah.
They've got to be able to have the ticketing system and processes around how they deliver their data to enable them to bring it in rapidly.
Yeah.
And then they've got to have a reporting layer which they can easily amend.
Yeah.
So technology is only as good as the people and processes around it and the intellectual property that you're using it for. So we actually have 3 R packages now in our organization. Only one is open source.
Okay.
Because the other 2 contain algorithms and assessment tools that are our competitive advantage.
Yeah, let's say they should remain private for one reason or another. Yes. Yeah, that's really interesting, because I was thinking about, because together with some of my colleagues, we're building a really interesting private cloud solution that's based completely on PowerShell and T-SQL scripting, and it's brutally, it just automates the deployment of SQL machines like I have never seen before, and most of the work are the system center job and not mine, so I'm not the head of this solution, but I'm thinking whether or not we should probably think of open sourcing some of that stuff, or the whole thing. I don't know. I have to talk with them. That's an interesting idea.
Well, do you plan on making money out of it?
Oh, it's for one of our customers, so we probably will have to discuss it also with them. So we'll see. We'll see. We are going to make money because they're our customer, but we are not delivering only this for them. So we'll see. That will be something that if we decide to share, you will be one of the first to be informed. Let's say it this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Another consideration is there are some very good companies who do stuff with R. There's a fantastic development an IDE called R Studio.
Yep.
And they have a freemium model. So you can actually get their IDE is open source.
Yep.
So the base platform, you can make your own variant of it and contribute changes to it and stuff. But to get the support, the sort of software assurance and the enterprise level management tools, that is something you pay for.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
That's quite a good way to go. I mean, it's essentially what Microsoft do with SQL Server Express, only they don't allow you to see the source code. You get a free lighter version, and then you pay for bells and whistles.
Yeah, and you pay quite some, by the way. Especially since 2012. But
yes, the core licensing.
That's a completely different talk, and not something that we should discuss at the moment. Probably there will be a session on the SQL Relay related to licensing at some point. There was, by the way, that's not a joke. I spoke at SQL Saturday in Budapest, and there was a licensing expert from Microsoft delivering a 1-hour talk about licensing SQL Server. So probably that's an interesting topic.
Tobias Kaprowski does a very good session on licensing. I think it's available on SQLBits.com website.
Okay, so we can probably.
I think it's presented there.
Yeah, if someone is having problems, everyone is having problems with licensing, you can probably double check Tobias what he has talked about. Well, which year is this? Is this the last one? I don't think so.
No, it wasn't the last one. It might have been the one before, but thankfully you can go to, instead of going to content, go to speakers, use the index to go to him, and then you can see all his presentations.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, okay, Steph. So I don't know if you know, but 30 minutes already gone by. So that's the power of the SQL Hangouts, as you can see. It's always fun. So last question to you. When and where are people going to be able to see you, chat with you, or just share some stuff with you? Are you planning something during the summer, or are we going to see you in October?
I should be at SQL Saturday Manchester
in
July.
That's at the end of July, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
August, I'm at the Southampton user group. September is going to be a busy month. There's the EARL conference, Effective Applications of the R Language.
Okay.
There's a Newcastle user group. There's SQL Saturday Copenhagen, where I'm going to be presenting.
I'll see you there.
And I think I'm missing a city.
Okay.
I think I'm presenting 4 different times in September.
Yeah, there will be quite some events in September, so I really believe that you are missing some of them at least. Yeah, there is. September will be crazy, and then it's the SQL Relay.
Yeah, and that'll be followed by SQL in the City.
Okay.
In London,
again in England, right?
Pardon?
That's again in England, in the United.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, so more or less you'll be traveling all across England, speaking and organizing and doing stuff like this.
Yes.
In the summer.
I've now started, though, trying to get out of the UK as a way of presenting at different SQL Saturdays is a fantastic way of picking places to go on holiday.
That's something that you said, it's not me. So it's a good idea. Indeed, it's a great idea to see a lot of cities in this way. Okay, Steph, so what can I say? Thank you for that insights, let's call them, one of the most modern words in the last few years in the Microsoft dictionary, insights, data insights and stuff like this. So I hope to see you soon somewhere.
Yep.
I believe at latest it will be in Copenhagen, so I'll be there. And to everyone who is able to join any of your events in England, just please go ahead and do that. It will be, I promise it will be fun. I promise it will be fun.
Yeah, there's usually a lot of R.
A lot of R? No, okay.
R.
Okay.
You got to have some pirate jokes and stuff in there. Okay,
cool stuff. And there are not that many people that speak about that topic, so that's interesting too. And it's
a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's becoming more and more popular nowadays, at least in my opinion. I don't know if
it's my task for the weekend. SQL Server 2016 CTP, and play with, or at least see if they've already got the R in SQL capability.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it already in the CTP.
Yeah.
Anyway,
something I want to check.
Yeah, you let us know. Okay, Steph. Yeah. Again, thank you so much. That's number 34. I promise that 42 is saved for you again. So if that's your favorite number, that I don't have any option to give it away to someone else. And again, see you soon. Thank you very much, and let's hope that we'll meet before Copenhagen.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
It was a pleasure. Bye for now. And
bye.
I'm going to sleep because it's 11 p.m. in my time zone now.
And you're still so perky. That's good work.
Yeah.
Or a lot of caffeine.
A lot of caffeine, by the way. Yeah. Okay, see you soon.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye.